What are some of guys with the fan? What are some of the things and areas you guys feel you need to address going to go through?
Just playing better. Just playing better.
Is there a level of desperation with the team? You feel like you got it?
Every game, I feel like you should be desperate to win. I think that's just everybody's mentality. Is you want to win so bad, it becomes desperate. You know, you become desperate, but I think both teams are desperate around this time. You know, not for just this game, but you know, just to continue to keep moving forward. So that's a good feeling to have as a ball player when you're trying to win. Is being desperate, and that makes you just a better player. So and a better team. So you can say that, but it's not like it's a somber mood around here. It's just, everybody's still confident and ready to play, but we're anxious to get this thing going.
You see how hard you work, hard to play. When the playoffs come, is there anything mentally or in any way that goes up a notch, or you just try to keep the same level?
Me or
yeah, team?
I just try to keep the same level every time I come into the season. Each day is important for me to get better as a player, and I just play what the game requires me to do. You know what I mean? I just try to figure out what is needed of me to help my team win, and try to do that as best as I can. And I try to have that approach every day.
Kevin, every postseason for the last 7 years, you've averaged between like 28.5 and 30 points. The variance and like consistency is incredible. What goes into that? Is it like mental toughness? Is it like focus? Is it having a different level during the playoffs? Like, how do you do that?
Well, stay consistent with my work habits. Try to get as much as I can in after practices. Mainly whenever I get a free time to work on my individual game, I try to do that as much as I can. And that consistency allows me to be confident when I go out there and play. And then I always had this little pressure on me as a kid, even though every game I feel like I have to play well or play as hard as I can. I can't take any game for granted. I always had that pressure coming home at night. So my mom asked me what happened in a bad game. My godfather asked me why I didn't play so well. Just having that little pressure, I guess, stayed with me since a kid all the way up until today. Just wanted to play well each game, but just wanted to give it my all and practice and shoot around and workouts, and then in the games I can live with myself.
When you have an off game now, does your mom still?
Yeah, no. I'm professional now. I take care of that stuff on my own now, but it's cool to have that type of, I don't want to call it fear because that's such a dangerous word, but it's like I don't know, I guess that you don't want to be satisfied or content. You just want to just keep going and see what happens at the end of the road.
Seems like in this series, first 2 games at least, Draymond hasn't been able to get kind of in the middle of the court. They're either playing 5 out or they got Capella, and he's got to stay with them. Is there anything that you guys can do around Draymond to help him maybe freelance a little bit more, or is it just a matter of him figuring out the spacing of this team?
Draymond's smart enough to figure it out, I think, and he knows when to go and when to stay home. And that's just the series. I mean, every series is not going to be the same. You might have to play different ways individually. And I think Draymond's been so good at adapting to any system, any style throughout his career, especially in the playoffs, just figuring out, all right, I might need to guard this guy a little closer, I might can help off a little bit more. It's just on Draymond to figure that out, and we just kind of, all figure that out on our own, and it blends together well. So I think Draymond is smart enough to adjust and figure stuff out.
Yeah, talking about Draymond's intellect and just how smart he is and what a leader he is. A few games ago in the other series, he kind of texted you overnight, and kind of you woke up to the text in the morning. What kind of impact does that kind of leadership have, and what kind of stuff did he say in that text to you?
Well, that text isn't the reason why I came out and played that way the next night. I mean, it was definitely helpful, but as I had already planned on doing that before the text came through, before I went to sleep that night. So, but to have somebody to kind of know what you're thinking and kind of feel your vibe, because I think throughout practice that day, he kind of felt my vibe a little bit on how angry I was at myself. And that's good when your teammates kind of know who you are, but without even having real communication. Just through vibes and energy. So I appreciate that more so than anything. And it was just be aggressive, be who you are. And I had planned on doing that, but obviously to have Draymond there meant a lot to, as far as just like that encouragement part of it.
What is it about him and his personality that allows him to communicate that way so directly with someone like you who's at the top of your game?
I just think that empowerment, it starts from the top, from Joe Lacob all the way down to the players, is that everybody feels like they have their own voice here. And Draymond's worked his way up to having a loud voice as far as, stuff we need to do on the basketball court, just his opinion on things and his basketball knowledge on things. I think Coach encourages everybody to speak up. And Draymond takes advantage of it, and every time he speaks is impactful for us and it helps us out. So that's his role. That's what he decided to take on this team, and it's been helpful for us.
Kevin, in order for you to do what you do night after night, how much of that is just having such a strong sense of self-confidence and belief in yourself and not letting anything else, outside noise, anything affect you?
I think it's more so just the love of the game, just wanting to play, just having a good time playing. And trial and error of the game is what I really enjoy the most, is doing something well and then not doing something well and trying to figure out how you can turn that into a strength. I think that's something I always try to focus on the most as a basketball player. It's allowed me to get this far. So I'm going to continue to just keep being an open book with myself as a player and see how far I can take it and take a little bit of risk as well. So I just think just playing the game within the game has allowed me to be confident out there. And just my love of the game has allowed me to leave it all out there as well.
Kevin, after you guys came out and really dominated and played so great in Game 1, how do you explain the turnovers, the lack of focus, and the reasons that you lost the second game?
You said it. The turnovers, defensive breakdowns, that stuff. It just comes down to just focus and what do we want to focus on each time down. I think we just played in Spurs last game, and against a great team like that, especially a desperate team who were down 1-0 on their home floor, you knew that we were going to come out with that energy. So, we can't fade in and out of focusness when we're trying to win a championship, especially against a championship caliber ball club like the Raptors. So I just think we had too many possessions where we went from playing great defense to 3 or 4 possessions and not playing good defense. And those possessions add up until 6, 7, 8-point runs, and then boom, you're down 10, 11, 12. Now you're fighting uphill. So it only takes a couple inches in basketball and a couple possessions to turn a season or a series around, or just a game. So the small details are important.
Is it harder to deal with guys like PJ, Demar, and PG getting theirs as opposed to James and Chris? Because in a sense, it almost looks like James and Chris can get theirs anyway.
We just want to play good defense, and no matter who has the ball. We're not just saying CP, James, go score all the points. And we're just trying to, whoever gets the ball at that time, we want to make sure we play good defense and just make it tough on guys. We know Eric Gordon's a tremendous scorer, 6th man of the year. James, CP, you know what they do. PJ Tucker's been shooting the ball extremely well this year. So it's just about if they get the ball, just try to take away what they like to do best. And, if they make a tough shot on you, then run back down court. Just keep grinding. I think if we do that, we'll be fine. That's easier said than done.
With PJ and Trevor, you know what they want to do. Basically, they want to stay in the corner and get that. Is it hard to resist helping off when James went to the basket to slide in towards James a little bit?
That's just natural. That's just the nature of basketball. Just playing for so long, you want to help out as much as you can. I think we got to do a good job of second and third efforts of getting back out to the shooter sometimes and Xing out on the backside, and also standing in front of the ball. So I think that's all the stuff that we can get better at, and something that all the players kind of know what needs to be done in that area as far as defense, and that's just communicating, being physical, just playing harder, and we'll see what happens.
Kevin, Steph just said
that maybe Steph has lost some rhythm.
I don't think so.
How do you explain his play this series?
I don't think so at all. I think they're switching out a lot, and they're doing a solid job of switching out, but I think he's doing a good job of driving to the rim. And he may have missed a few threes, but you worry about missed threes with Steph Curry. It's like at some point, you know, we continue to just keep being aggressive, keep fighting over screens, playing good defense, getting into the paint, just keeping himself like just playing in the flow, he'll be fine. I don't think anything's lingering from the injury or nothing. I just think that a couple shots went in and out, and he make a couple of those threes that were open. You're talking about a different night. You're talking about a different person. So it's like it's a make or miss league, and you know when Steph misses a shot, everybody gets up in arms about it. But you know that's how great he is. You know, so many people expect him to make every single shot, but you know sometimes that doesn't happen. So he continued to keep fighting. At 7 rebounds, 7 assists. You know, he's playing his tail off on the defensive end, man. It's a series, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to knock him out in one game, you know what I'm saying? So it's bad games happen throughout, you know, a playoff series, throughout a season, throughout just a career, you know? So just move on and keep getting better and see what happens next game.
You've also said during that talk that, you know, Steph could hit 1 or 2, and then he could go and make them in bunches, and I'm sure you expect that soon enough. I mean,
I know the next couple of days is going to be about Steph struggling to shoot the ball, but that's the last thing I worry about with Steph. So it's like, you know, I just got so much confidence in him on the offensive side of the basketball. And as far as shooting the ball, like, I mean, I look at him and I said this way before you guys even said it, that he was the best shooter to ever play. So it's like, I got confidence in him on that side, you know what I'm saying? So I think we all do, and all the fans, all the players, we all do. So he got good looks last game. All of them were great shots, but sometimes they don't go in. And I know Steph's confident always, so see him working on this game right now, he's preparing for the next game. That's what elite level players do, they move on.
that's what I mean. I mean, he can easily come back and hit a bunch in a row as we.
Yeah, but just to talk at him on the offensive side of the ball, let's just get at a rest because he's Steph Curry. What are we even worried about? If he doesn't make shots, he does other things, and we can help him out as well. It's a team thing. So it's like, man, I'm confident, man. I got the utmost, you know, especially in Steph. I mean, so much confidence in him. It's not pressure I'm putting on him. It's just like as a teammate, I expect nothing but greatness out of him. And I think that's how everybody should look at Steph.
Steve said you guys had bounced back from a tough loss because of something in here, and he put his hand on his heart. From the way you guys have been resilient, you know, after a not so great game.
I think when we lose basketball games, like you said earlier, it's lack of focus sometimes, and we totally locked in on each possession and know what we have to do. We're a tough team to beat. And so when we lose the game and we watch film, it's just like, oh man, we missed the box out, or oh, we turned the ball over, or we didn't rebound, or we didn't get out the shooters, or we didn't drive to the rim hard enough. It's like stuff that we can control. So it's like, you know, if we can control it, then it's just the reason why we bounce back is because we start thinking about those things the next game, the stuff that we didn't do so well, and that's when you start having those win streaks and, you know, good games after a loss. It's because small stuff that we forget about, and why we lose is the stuff that we focus on the next game on and we win. So it's like we gotta be focused if we want to win this series.
Great, thank you. Last question. Three months mother told you, said you take too many ISO and you didn't move the ball. What do you think about this?
Nothing at all. I'm gonna keep being me. Draymond's mom's like the team mom, so it's like I know how that dynamic is. You know what I'm saying? She just want nothing but the best from us. And I love her like she's my mom, so it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I understand where that stuff comes from, but I'm gonna keep being me at the end of the day, and I got nothing but love for this Mary Baby scream.
Thank you, guys.